Hi, everyone.
I'm Tracey,
I'm Carol.
and we are my
Outlander. Dot com.
Purgatory.com.
What is that from, anyway?
Some insurance thing, I think.
I don't know.
.com. Now I must be tired because I feel like I should totally know that.
I don't know. I know I'm exhausted. I think I need to eat. You guys, I'm
It's
sorry.
Carfax or
Tracy. Everyone, and Tracy. Tracy, don't give me an eye roll. It's really important to me that you don't eye roll me at this. Okay.
Okay.
Just gonna say this really quick, and then we're gonna get on to Outlander chit chat.
Okay.
I think you're cutting off your nose to spite despite my face in not watching Turn. Okay, you promised me. You promised me. You promised me. No,
I'm not
eye roll.
rolling my eyes. I'm closing my eyes.
No closing
I'm
my eyes.
closing my eyes.
Tracy, Ben Talmadge is Job, just like Jamie Fraser. Tracy, it is time. It is so time. It is so time for you to watch the show. It's not even funny. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
And what are you drinking this evening?
I am drinking. I decided to go red tonight, mostly because I don't know why we have so much red in our house, but we do. We have very little white and a ton of red. So I'm drinking a Pinot Noir.
Watch those, man. Headache Central.
They are good. This is a Cloud Break. I bought the Cloud Break Pinot Noir because I like the Cloud Break Chardonnay. It's a yeah, gets the job done. It's a nice light red for a summer evening.
Mm.
And
well,
you?
I was going to say, I'm sure you're going to be asking me soon. This is really cheesy, but I have an open red as well because Tom's cousin Gail, who I love to pieces, was here over the weekend and had a red that she brought with her. And guys, I was telling Tracey that I was kind of like, well, I have an open red. Should I drink this? And when I showed it to Tracey, she was like, oh, it's so indicative of this evening's episode. Are you ready?
I was like, hell yeah. Of course you're going to drink that. How, apropos. Duh.
Yes,
And
yes.
I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't think that.
I really seriously, yeah. So
I have a question for you, Carol.
Salud.
Schlanzerva.
Schlanja.
Slanja.
Why can't I do it?
Slanty. Schlanja.
Slanja.
Yeah. Cheers. Up your kill.
Schlong.
Speaking of up your kill, I noticed that Pocket Jamie is clearly been a bad boy because I see over your shoulder that he's facing the corner. And Carol, I just have one thing to say to you.
What?
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
No one puts Pocket Jamie in a corner.
I know. Well, it's freaking me out because I didn't really think of no one puts baby in the corner. I carried a watermelon, but sorry, that made me think of something else that I'll bring up later. I did think of, have you ever seen the Blair Witch Project?
Yes.
At the end when the kid's in the corner, he's facing the corner.
No, wait, it has to be like this. It has to be like this.
Oh my God, didn't you just want to kill her? But at the end...
That might be cut out.
At the end of Blair Witch Project, it's not Josh, it's the other guy. I think his name might have been Mike, is in the corner like that, just like the kidnapped kids that this scary guy used to kidnap and leave them in the corner. Anyway, Jamie is in the corner because he's still having his pissing contest. You like that?
I like that. That's good. Yeah.
Okay. So let's jump in.
So speaking of a pissing match, let's go. So this is episode 210.
Would it be bad if I pulled out some cheese and crackers? I've got a really awesome Dubliner.
You should if you want. I'll pause.
No, it's okay.
Okay. That's okay. If I begin to pass out like Angus, just...
That was so Arthur.
All right.
What was that line? What was that line?
Wait. I have to say, speaking of Arthur, so tonight's episode is entitled Prestonpans. Now, clearly, Carol, you have to at least once said, oh, Prestonpans.
Oh, Preston. Would you be divine and
And get me a gin and tonic.
Oh, Preston.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
writing this one down.
Prestonpans.
I'm writing this one down because that's one video that you'll want.
So wait, but I have to preface the start of this. I'll just say the writer is Ira Stephen Bear and the director is Philip John, who directed last week as well, and clearly has a thing for war movies and TV. So I have to preface this with this viewing was a little tricky for me because long story very short, we get some we've told you that we get some screeners, so we're able to watch the screeners earlier than the actual episode airing, but we also get a lot of promotional material. And what I didn't realize is that some of the promotional material should not be read before you watch the screener.
I never do, because that happened to me like in the very beginning of the season, and I said, no, I won't do this.
So I read the promotional material first and found out a lot of stuff that I didn't want to find out.
Oh, God.
Yes. So throughout this video, I will be very curious to know how you experienced the events as someone who didn't know what was going to happen.
Wow.
As opposed to me, where I read the information, including Angus dies.
Tracey, and I'm going to just lay it on the line here. I'm just going to tell you guys all, I still think he's Rupert, okay? I still think Angus is Rupert. He was my Rupert in my head. So I still, to this day, have to go, wait, that's, okay, Angus, but I'm so confused because, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not going to.
Yeah, we have to be very tricky about this whole, a lot of this episode, I would say the bulk of this episode was new to us, new to book readers. And some stuff that we expected to happen in this episode that if you go back to our last video, I think we talked about it in the spoilers, it's kind of still a spoiler because it didn't happen.
Right.
Things happened in a different way.
Right.
So the Angus thing, also we've said this before, Angus is really, in the books, Angus is he's in the first book a little bit, and he's kind of Colum's man in the same way that Rupert was Dougal's man.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not, he has like 5 lines in the book.
For all intents and purposes, Angus is Rupert.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they took the part of Rupert, and we talked about that last year, how, it was kind of a good choice in the end because it gave them, each other to play off of. I knew what was going to happen with Angus. It wasn't a surprise, and it was a double surprise to people, to book readers, because it doesn't happen in the book. So were you surprised by it? Like, how did you experience it not knowing it was coming?
Well, spoiler alert.
All right,
I did. This is a spoiler. Like, I can't go there. Sorry.
All right. Well, we'll go.
Can't answer. All
right. Let's get a spoiler alert out of the way. All right. Sheldon, go.
Excuse me. Spoiler alert.
Okay. I did know it was coming because Angus is Rupert.
Well, but he's not Rupert because they set it up to make you think it was going to be Rupert, but it wasn't. It was Angus.
But Angus is Rupert. So to me, put it this way. No, I didn't expect it. Yes, I expected it to be Angus Rupert. To me, why couldn't they have just flip-flopped them? It's just a visual thing. Rupert is, well, no, it really isn't. It's more than that. Anyway, the way they did it, I expected it. I expected Rupert. I expected it. I was waiting for Rupert to go.
Right.
And then,
that's why. Maybe it was a surprise. Maybe it was geared to surprise the book readers.
Let me tell you something. That is really, really good. I was going to say filmmaking, but that's not the proper terminology. They got me. And it's very rare. Not only is it very rare to get me, I usually recite lines when I'm watching these shows before they happen. certain times.
From the book?
Maybe not Outlander, but like, The Walking Dead, whatever. I'll say it and then Rick will say it and Tom will look at me like, nice job. Because sometimes stuff can be predictable, whatever. This rarely happens to me, but they got me because what they got me with was the canon. I forgot about it. I went, oh, the canon was okay. He's okay, whatever, and I moved on, and I let it go.
All right, well, let's stop that because we can. That's not a spoiler. All right, we're ending the spoiler. Spoiler is over. Come back to us. Come back. Okay. Well, so we'll talk more about that, but yeah, I will be curious to know how people thought of stuff if they were surprised because I was not. Okay.
Don't do those things anymore.
I know. Well, yeah. Now I won't.
I should have warned you. That happened to me at like episode 3, and I was like, and I haven't read another one since.
Okay. So our Easter egg is bagpipers and a drummer. It set a very foreboding tone, which was nice. I thought it was cool, and I have to look it up because it probably means something. That the drummers held the drumsticks like this, like horizontal. Like, what did that mean? Like that they're done? Can you see that? Like,
yeah,
that?
I didn't notice.
I don't know. I figured it was meaningful. If you guys know, you can tell us in the comments. So Claire, the lights up on Claire, who's encountered a dead guy. And that guy is really most sincerely dead. That guy is dead in the way that, like, do you remember the Blue Lagoon?
Who could forget the Blue Lagoon?
Do you remember when little Brooke Shields and little Christopher Atkins, like, they are getting taken care of by, like, Patty, the, like, drunken sailor dude?
Where do you think she could possibly be? Oh, I know where you're going. Yes. He just stumbled off and died.
They go find him. They finally find him, and he's all dead. And like the bug crawls out of his mouth. Yeah, it was that gross. He was like Ben Gardner in Jaws. Yeah. That's Ben Gardner's boat.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was really, it really, really grounded you in like. We're not kidding around anymore. Like, we're not just talking about it now. This is happening.
And yet the snow.
And the snow was great. I wonder if it was real snow or...
It was so beautiful. The way that snow was just, oh my God. What a gorgeous scene that was.
And when Claire is all saying she doesn't think they're going to win. I mean, like, her mindset is just so down and so like so afraid of what is to come.
And honestly, more so than when I was reading the books, I'm sitting here like I feel like that Eddie Murphy skit he used to do where he was like talking about how white people always stay in the haunted house even though they know it's haunted.
Didn't we talk about this last week?
I don't think so, but he would say,
"Oh, baby, this is beautiful. We got a chandelier hanging up here, kids outside playing. It's a beautiful neighborhood. We ain't got nothing to wear. I really love them. This is really nice. Too bad we can't stay, baby."
But he said white people are like, that's peculiar, and that's like sort of what I feel like at this point. I'm like, what? Get out, go. I agree with her from an episode or two ago, where she's
colony.
Like, go get Jenny and Ian and their 10 million kids, and get everybody and get out.
Obviously, Jamie doesn't care that much about all the crofters at Lollybrock since he was willing to sell them down the river 2 episodes ago and sell them to Lord Lovett, for like real estate development. So just take them all and get the hell out of Dodge.
Tell everybody to just go. I mean, and I get it. They don't have money. Where are they going to go? How are they going to pay for passage across the ocean? But I don't know. Just figure it out because you need to go. Why are they doing this? I know. That's what I'm sitting here watching this and I'm going, why are you doing this?
You know where it's going. I mean,
no, you know what's going to happen.
Yes, agreed. So, I mean, maybe they just feel trapped. Maybe they feel like they're in it too deep now. That they just can't. I don't know.
I think know like their problem. It's PTSD and the whole. Why are we doing this,
Jamie? We have to continue because what would my Outlander Purgatory talk about?
About the not. There would be no hope for the future of my Outlander Purgatory.
So, okay. So then Jamie's all like, Claire, how freaking long does it take you? It's like,
Oh my God, he was
Jamie,
so
shut
rude.
up.
Wasn't
Jamie,
wasn't he so? I have
rude dog.
how long? Love, love, love the snow, and love Jamie saying, "How long does it take to take a piss?"
Yeah, you know what? If you can't just whip it out and like
Yeah,
spray
Jamie.
around, it takes a little longer, Jamie.
STFU.
I
Like I
know.
was
I mean,
like,
I
oh
know
my God.
you're like, like still like sort of inexperienced and all, but like get real,
Well,
okay?
I was like, clearly the honeymoon is over.
So anyway, my favorite thing of all that is after all the speaking about the whatever, she takes the axe. She's a realist. She's like, we can use this axe.
Yeah,
Bye.
that was so like Walking Dead or one of
Right.
those shows where they just like take the stuff off. They take what it wants.
And she's like, it kills her to do it, but she's like, she's a realist. She's like, this is more used to us now than it is to this guy. So
I love how you say all. Like you've been out of Paoli a long time.
all.
You're like all. And I'm like, who are you?
I live in North Jersey. You live in South Jersey. South Jersey. So you still have
Central. I live
Central.
in Eastern Central Monmouth County, New Jersey.
But you don't. But I live like way up north, where I'm close to New York.
Way up north, that whole
To
hour.
New York. Okay, moving on.
All right.
So next shot is the War Council, and this was a good scene.
I admit it, I did not understand it. I mean, I understood why they were arguing and stuff, but like some of the details, I was like, what's his problem? What does he want?
I mean, basically, the issue was that the British are encamped on the other side of the hill, or on the other hill over there.
In Pretty Little Rose.
I know. They're very organized.
Yeah.
Jamie's like, see, crofters? That's what I wanted us to do. They're so orderly.
See how they fold the blankets?
So there's a big chasm in between them. And the chasm, they're not sure if the chasm is like boggy or muddy. I think they know it is, but they just don't know how boggy or muddy. So the quartermaster, who's Chuck's guy, who's Markme's guy, is all like, no, we just gotta go, we just gotta go, we just gotta go. And the general, who's the Irish dude, and I don't know how they roped him into it, but
I was like, where did he come from?
It must be historical, so we can look it up.
Yes, yes.
He's all cautious, and he's all like, no, we have to like figure it out. We have to figure it out. And so that's where the big conflict was coming in there. And I loved that all of these dudes in the room are like 107 years old, with one exception. 2 if you count Markme. Jamie is like decades younger than the rest of them.
So funny, because that hit me at that exact time. He walks up and he says something and they're all at attention, and I thought, dude's like 23, 24.
I know. Can I just say, the first slow golf clap of the evening is going to the fabulous Terry Drasback for possibly my favorite costume of the season.
BPC?
Oh
my
God.
I said the same thing. I was like, look at the Bonnie Prince. He is perfection. It's like he stepped right out of a painting. Amazing
costume.
Amazing. I couldn't stop looking at it. He was like, I could not take my eyes off it.
That costume was so fabulous. I don't even know what to do with myself.
I know. I felt the same.
Oh my
That's
God.
So funny.
Take the red dress, toss it in the trash heap. Take the, the like flowered like Versailles thingy, put it in the recycling bin, because that costume is the crowning glory of Terry Drasback. It was so fabulous. I just can't even. I can't even.
I knew I wrote it down, but I called it an outfit. Like, I didn't even call it a uniform. I have Bonnie Prince's outfit is fantastic.
So great. And he wore it really the whole entire time.
Oh,
I guess they probably all sort of wore the same clothes, but like, you didn't really notice it so much. Also, Jamie. Well, I forget. I'm calling it the Matrix coat that he's got. He's got that like leather, like sort of Keanu Reevesy coat. That's just also really fabulous.
Hotness.
Hot. So okay. Mark me throughout this whole thing is hilarious. They'll never give Andrew Gower an Emmy nomination. It just won't happen.
Mark me.
But he really deserves one because
he's amazing.
If you watch this whole scene, which you should again, and just watch him and just watch what he does.
I can't watch anyone else when he's on screen.
He's so over his head and he's so lost and he's kind of bored.
He reminds me of me.
And he's eating an apple. They're all like, no, I have to do it this way. Yes, I have to do it this way.
And he's like, oh, this is really tedious. He's like, did that baby stop?
And then he's like, take a little some whiskey. And he like looks at Jamie like, want some? Oh my God. He's so great.
You cannot take your eyes off him when he's on screen. And I just want to know if the real Bonnie Prince Charlie dyed his eyebrows silver to match his wig.
Oh my God, he's so great. The real Bonnie Prince Charlie is slow golf clapping all over the place in his grave over Andrew Gower.
And he does these things where he's
Gower?
Things Gower. But look, he'll be like this for like 10 minutes on the screen. And you're like,
great. He's so
he
great.
doesn't even move his face.
He's so great. First mark me of the night,
Let's
of which
meet
there were
him.
many.
Can we go meet him somehow? Can we interview him?
Oh my God.
Dear Andrew.
If you're watching this, our dad's name is Andrew, so we love you even more.
Andrew, mark me. We want to meet you.
You want my Outlander Purgatory to interview you. Mark me.
Mark me.
Okay. So he's all, I don't even know. Yeah, there's disagreements. They've won a few battles already, so that's good to know.
And I have the next thing after that. He wants Claire to help the Brits before the Scots.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got another mark me.
WTF.
There's two. We're like 5 minutes in, and then there's 2 mark me's already. So you know this is a mark me-licious night.
Now, have the bets ended?
No, because I'm guessing he's probably going to be around for next week, too. I think there were 4 tonight. So I think after tonight, we're at either 14 or 15. So... So they go outside, mark me number 2. Yes, he's all like, Charlie's all like, I want your wife to treat the British before the, I'm sorry, because this was so funny, to treat the British before the Highlanders.
Yes.
When he's like, surely Lady Block-Turrock would follow orders from her lord and master. And so golf clap number 2. For Sam Hewen and that face that he gave, which was just like, you're clearly not married, dude.
Was that like historical? Like, where did they get that?
Well, Claire Fraser isn't real, so I think not.
What'd you say?
I said Claire isn't real, so I don't think that really happened.
Bite your damn tongue. I just mean, like, was there something in a history book somewhere where Bonnie Prince Charlie wanted the English taken care of before the Scots? Because what? Because what?
I mean, I did like the aspect later on where he's talking about that it's a difficult win because, all these people are his subjects. Like, that's it's kind of true. But I think that, I don't know if he's trying to kiss up to the Brits. Because just in case they get caught, maybe if he's like nice to them, they won't be they won't hang him. I don't know. But
I kind of feel like he just like figures he's going to need them
right
down the line, and that so he doesn't want to treat them poorly or something. But that doesn't mean you take care of them before the Scots. The frig are you doing there?
Right. No, he's just a douche. I mean, like, come on.
Jamie should have told him he was a douche.
I'm
sorry.
No. How could he tell him it was a douche when he had this in his face?
Look, I could what? That's one of those things that like I'll laugh my ass off like in 4 days when I'm watching this like on the treadmill, and I'll go, "How did I miss that when she did it?" Oh,
No.
right. Oh, right. When he does this, and Jamie's like,
this.
Yeah, no, I guess I would have been more comfortable if he was like, you are to take care of the Brits just as much equally as the Scots.
Right.
I would have said, okay, I get that. But before the Scots, I'm sorry, what'd you talk about, Willis?
Okay, so next scene we're at Fireside, and you can tell that the boys are restless and ready to rock and roll.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Right under where he wants Claire to help the Brits before the Scots, WTF. Under that, I have Google that and see if BPC actually said that.
It would be interesting to know.
I'm going to. I will.
It would be interesting to know. I bet you did.
Well, it had to have come from somewhere.
I know.
What the heck?
I know. It makes sense. All right.
Okay.
So we're at the fire. Yeah, everyone's all like, restless and ready to go. Angus is like doing some spitty thing to friend of foe Ian.
And getting all testy with
testy. He's with unhinged. I will say this, and again, I don't know whether it was because I knew what was coming, or whether it really was the case. But I kind of thought that the Angus, that what happens to Angus was kind of foreshadowed through. Like I felt like there was a lot of talk, like a lot of focus on Angus.
The kiss.
Normally, like I felt like, okay, you don't watch Survivor, but
I've watched Survivor many times. I just don't watch like this season. I don't.
I didn't really realize that you were that you watched Survivor. I thought you hadn't watched Survivor in a long time. But anyway, you know how like you'll be all right. So there's episodes and episodes, and then there'll be people that like are on they're not really featured very much. They're not like the big strategist or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden you'll hit an episode where like they're talking all the time, and they're having like 7,000 confessionals, and all of a sudden they're in it like way more than they've been at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yeah, you're going home. In the first 15 minutes, you're like, yeah, you're so going home, because like all of a sudden, like everyone cares about what you think. And it was kind of like, I felt like that with Angus a little bit, but I don't know, again, if it was just because I was like projecting that because I knew what was going to happen. Or...
I bet there's a name for that, like the rule of threes, only it's like, here today, gone tomorrow.
It's called foreshadowing.
I mean? Yeah. And also the kiss. I mean, once he was like, I want to, I need the kiss. I was like, that's the kiss of death right there.
Yeah,
you're gone.
Yeah. So you thought that even though you didn't know it was going to happen.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. 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 So yeah. So everyone's just kind of like, okay.
And and you really skipped over a part that I loved, which was I have loved watching Angus get all testy with the inexperienced Scots, like that whole exchange with those two guys about telling each other. Was that when they were telling each other which, if I die, you take my sword or you take my house?
No, that came later. Later. So this is just like, and then they wake up Dougal, and he's all pissy. And then Jamie's all like, I don't even know what he's. He's coming back from the War Council, and they're all like, "Are we going? Are we going? Are we going?" And he's like,
no.
Yeah. God damn it.
I crack myself up because, like, on the one hand, I'm talking about something very serious. Dougal and Jamie had their conversation about attacking or waiting to be attacked, and then I don't like that Jamie's hair looks brown.
Squirrel!
But it's the truth. Like, why his hair was brown? I
didn't notice that. I didn't notice that. But then he's like, all right, Dougal, come over. Come here.
I want to say it.
Go ahead.
Are you finishing exactly what you're talking about right now?
That he talks to Dougal and...
Yeah. Finish that, and then I'm going to say what I want to say.
Okay.
Just Jamie and Dougal.
Right. Yeah. So Jamie basically like lays out the stitch for Dougal, and he's like, well, somebody needs to go test the ground, and it can't be me because Mark Me would not stand for it. But I don't know if someone else wanted to go. Well, whistles, looks at Sky, and Dougal was like, me.
Mummy. Yes, Dougal was more than ready. Just be pressed.
Dougal was like, and he says as much. He's like, maybe I can score some brownie points with Mark Me.
Right.
Maybe he'll say, Mark Me. Dougal is awesome.
Yeah. Mark Me. That man is great. And I hate him and he's great. But I hate him and he's great. Okay.
What?
So Dougal takes off and goes down and the English think he's one crazy bastard with his horse getting stuck. Keep going. You got anything? Do you have anything else you want to say about that?
Yeah. So Dougal goes, and everyone's like cheering for him or watching it, and they think he's crazy, and they start firing, and the guns really suck back then.
God, but nobody could get him. He's stuck. They don't really know he's stuck. They think he's just parading around on his white horse.
That's the thing. They're not really that serious about it. They're all like, near. Yeah, no, I totally didn't get him. Like,
it's funny because I asked Tom at that point, I was like, what about their integrity and their honor and when they do their lineup? Usually they line up everybody, okay, we're going to fire at you now.
We know this because we've seen The Patriot.
Yeah. So, I was like, what the hell kind of honor is this? Them just shooting at one man on a horse who came down like this saying, I'm not armed or I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I found that to be I
thought Dougal was just like riding along like, look, no hands.
Like when I used to go down the street on my 10 speed?
No, I knew it was a more or less like, I'm not armed.
Yes, I'm not armed, don't shoot, and they shot anyway.
Right, but they did it like half-heartedly, I think.
Right, so now you have everybody standing there watching them. Bonnie Prince Charlie and Angus and Rupert, and all I have is Angus and Rupert and the Prince was the funniest thing season. All season. That had me in hysterics, that whole little exchange.
I know.
Funny.
Angus like...
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah, Angus.
I'm
when
upset.
He followed me on Twitter. Aw. Well, I'll still follow you. I'll still watch.
Was it Angus or Rupert who followed you on Twitter?
Angus followed me on Twitter.
Oh.
But I'm still going to follow him and see what he does. Because this is the thing. Like, all of these actors, I mean, not like I'll ever, get to London anytime soon or Scotland to see stuff that they do. But, like, they're going to be they're in other shows all the time, And
over there.
kind of cool. Well, over there, but, like, probably, I mean, if they do TV shows, you might see it on BBC, you might see it on Amazon Prime, on Netflix. And who knows what theater they do. And like the next time I'm in the West End, I'll, look them up. But it's kind of cool now to like watch them in other things and, whatever. So we haven't seen the last of Stephen Walters. Angus. So Dougal gets stuck and like, is he going to get out? Is he going to be stuck? What's going to happen? He finally gets out. Somebody gets a shot off and blows off his hat, scrapes his little bald head a little bit. But he goes back and he is a hero. And the Bonnie Prince, is that where the Bonnie Prince gives him a big hug? I forgot.
Yes, I have love the hug between Bonnie Prince Charlie and Dougal. Mark me, if I had 100 men like you, this would all be over tomorrow.
And mark me number 3. Oh, this is where Jamie had the Matrix coat. That was just so awesome.
Now I'm picturing Jamie like doing that slow-mo like Matrix.
I'm just picturing Jamie and Keanu Reeves, and I just don't think I can take it.
Wow.
Look at all the pretty.
Oh no, you need to watch Turn because there's plenty more of it on that show, let me tell you.
I haven't mentioned Gilmore Girls at all in like 3 weeks, you guys.
That's because it doesn't really work, but Turn, oh my God, red coats everywhere. And when George Washington and Benedict Arnold are hot, I mean, come on. You just need to watch the show. And I don't like to say that because I don't like to turn it into some kind of, oh, they're all hot. Oh, no. the acting on this show was so friggin' superb. Anyway,
Okay.
to me, it's like a hand in hand with Outlander. That's the thing. Keep going.
Okay. So clearly they won't be able to cross the marsh. They're going to have to get over another way. So then, because Claire has to be in this episode at some point, because, you know, she is one of the stars, we turn to Claire, who's training all the ladies. You know, I guess
ladies.
all the ladies. They got a meeting in the ladies' room. And evidently the doctor has, like, jumped ship, but he's left his nice doctor bag or doctor, you know, thing of tools. So that's good.
He's left his doctor thing of tools, you guys.
When am I the only one that giggled just a little bit when Claire told Alice that she was responsible for the honey water?
That's pretty funny. Well, I didn't go there in my mind, but I think it's funny that you did. It's pretty funny. But I was kind of like, duh. Like, you know, it's got to bring the blood pressure. You have to check it's got to keep the blood pressure up. Oh, it's because it's like Claire was so like done. Like she was so like, oh my God, you stupid woman, just do it. This needs to be done for the future.
Mother Hildegard? Bring back Mother Hildegard.
Just when I tell you to, that's when in my life with my kids, I just stop and go, look, you have to, I just told you to do something, do it. And then Fergus, woman's work.
Oh, Fergus. Oh, guys. So cute.
Do you ever look at that child, and how old is he, P.S.? Like,
I think he's like 14.
I was going to say 12. Do you ever look at him and think, is he real? Like, do you ever look at his
I know. He's like
it's
a
not,
little doll.
Yes, it's not just angelic. It's his eyes are very far apart. He's just got the face. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
If they made like American Girl dolls, except it was like France boy dolls, you know, French boy dolls, there could be a little one named Fergus that you could have a matching outfit with.
Has anyone ever made an Armand Asante doll? Fergus has the whole Armand Asante thing happening. Throw a little Enrique Iglesias in there too.
Oh, Fergus. Oh, so cute. So cute. Okay, so then let's see. So the ladies are getting trained. They're all in with the honey water. Okay, then the Fergus bursts in the next scene with a young Scottish dude. He was all like, yeah, I'm from these parts. My father owns all this land. You're trespassing and I want you all gone. No, he didn't say that. He said, I know a secret passageway through the woods to get to the other side. And you're not going to have to go through all the boggy stuff. And I totally know it. And Jamie's all basically, because they get Jamie by this point. And Jamie's all like, all right, you know. And they're pretty much believing him. I'm not sure why they wouldn't believe him because he's a Scot guy, right? He's not like a British guy.
Yeah, but I thought the same thing. Who was the one who said it? Because while they were saying it, I was thinking it. Oh, you just happened to miraculously fall out of the sky and come tell us
that
this.
was the general. That was the general.
Because that's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know that I trust this guy. He just shows up at the right time with the perfectly helpful information. It just seemed kind of strange. And I'm cracking up that you keep talking about Jamie's Matrix coat because I was calling this dude Mr. Anderson.
I've never actually seen The Matrix, so that's like...
Oh, that's not even funny to you. The guy's... he calls Keanu Reeves Mr. Anderson.
Oh.
So Tom and I were sitting there going, Mr. Anderson. So the fact that you were talking about Jamie's Matrix code cracks me up. But yes, I fully agreed. I was like, I don't know that I buy this. Like, I think they might have paid him to come and do this.
I kind of bought it. He was just like, he was so like serious about it, you know? I bought it. But, you know, speaking of Tom, is he going to talk tonight?
I think he's sound asleep.
Oh, okay. Okay. So then it's the night before the big battle, or, you know, they're getting ready to go. So there's lots of like that like it's the night before the battle, and everyone's very like reflective and like, getting ready because they might die tomorrow. So this is where Ian and his buddy are talking about like, okay, if I die, you have to take care of my wife and kid. Well, if I die, you have to take care of my wife and kid, except I have 6 kids. Ha ha! Loser. But it was very nice. And then Angus and Rupert like sort of witness that. And then they have this like lovely little conversation. And that's where I kind of felt like, yeah, right,
It's coming.
Yeah, the tribe is going to speak here because Angus is going home. Angus is getting voted out of the tribe.
Somebody get Jeff Probst.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have written down. They were so funny, and Angus telling Rupert he can have his stuff, and it was so amazing. And I have funny but poignant all at once. It was really interesting the way they did that scene.
But it constantly was Rupert being like, oh, what you talking about? You're not going to die. What you talking about? You're not going to die. And again, like Survivor being like, I'm totally confident. I am going to win that $1 million. I'm going all the way. Boom, you're gone. Yeah.
Get to jail. Where do they go now? The secret.
To Ponderosa. That's where you go when you get kicked off of Survivor. Post-merge. Pre-merge, you go on some trip for 3 weeks. But
I'd get kicked out on purpose, like right away, because they're sitting there having Mai Tais and steak.
Well, no, if you get booted before the merge, there's like a pre-merge trip, and they send you off with all the other pre-merge people for like a month, and you go to like some exotic, and you basically like get trashed the entire time. And
I would go to Survivor and just suck it, like be awful at all the challenges, and they'd kick me out, and I'd be like, "See you in a month."
You guys, speaking of reality shows, who here thinks that Carol and I would be primo TV on The Amazing Race?
Oh my God, Tracey, we would kill each other.
It would be the world's first reality snuff film, because you would see a death on TV.
And it would be me, because you know what? She would take over, and I would keep my mouth shut, and I'd be like, just don't go there, just don't bother, and then I would lose it, and I would just be like,
oh my God, you guys, it would be must see TV. I'm just telling you right now.
It totally would. It totally would.
But anyone, if you're an amazing
they should
producer,
send us to Scotland.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be the best.
My God.
Do you watch the show at all?
I've seen it.
You
Yeah.
open up your little envelope, and you're like, and we would be like this. All right, where we go? Scotland.
They should do an Amazing Race through Scotland and Scotland only, with us and like anybody else, like Marion Blake. And like,
oh my God, and like
Beth
and Ginger and Summer
Becca.
and all the like twosome
Ginger and Summer. Oh my God, that would be so awesome.
Oh my God, that would be kind of hilarious.
That would kind of be so amazing.
Alistair is a Scot though, so he would probably win because he like knows all the places to go. But like Ginger and Summer, I think have both been to Scotland before, and
I've been to Scotland before.
I've never been to Scotland. I've been to London. Does that count?
A little. No. And I have relatives who would help us.
That's true. Oh my God, we need to make this happen. Okay. Anyway, if any Amazing Race producers out there, call us. We're in the book. All right.
Amazing Race Scotland.
Amazing Race Scotland. Purgatory style. Okay.
We won't disappoint.
Must see TV, I'm telling you. Okay, we need to move it along. Dougal, I just have like, Angus and Rupert are talking about Angus is leaving his stuff to Rupert. Dougal and Jamie are reflective about stuff. I don't even remember what. Like, I just put their very reflective.
Oh, yeah. How about when Jamie says, I almost lost my marriage trying to stop this from happening?
Oh, yeah. I was like, wow, is that bad? Really?
I was having flashbacks to you going on and on and on about how Jamie would never, ever, ever commit suicide. Like, that's what I'm thinking to myself. You almost lost your marriage? What? That sounded a little 20th century to me.
I know. There were a couple of things like that. At one point, Dougal said okay to to poor Johnny, not Lower John Redcoat, but we'll get to that. But I was like, okay, Dougal, no.
Wait, Tom said something while we were watching. He said they would never have said, "Hey, Tom, you awake?" He is now. What word did they use in Outlander last night that you mentioned that you yard? They said they're 500 yards, blah, blah, blah. And Tom was like, would they?
What, did they have the metric system back then?
Well, he was like, I don't know if they would be saying yards. And I'm like, well, I trust in all Outlander productions, so I'm sure they would have if Outlander used it.
I think for some reason yard, I didn't find that hard to believe. But okay was definitely like, no.
Maybe he got it from Claire.
No, I thought okay. I don't know where. For some reason, I think okay comes from like Morse code or like wireless signaling or something weird like that. I don't know.
Maybe he got it from Claire.
Maybe. But he doesn't know where she's from. What?
19th century.
Ooh.
Informal public imperial measurement standards erected at the Royal Observatory, Greenwich, London, in the 19th century.
Oh, this is yard. I thought this was okay.
Yep.
Oh,
no.
Boy. Ooh. Well, whatever. Suspension of disbelief. It would have been... No, they could have said furlongs, and I would have been like, all right with that. Whatever.
I still don't know what a damn fortnight is.
Fortnight is 2 weeks.
Stone. What the hell is, how much stone?
A stone is like 10 pounds.
No, I think it's more than that. Or a little less than that. It's off. It's not exact.
I know. Maybe it's like 20. Because people like say I weigh like 6 stone. So maybe it's like 20 pounds. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So yeah, so after Jamie talked about how like his marriage is on the line, yeah, maybe Jamie and Claire need to go to marriage boot camp.
Stone is 14 pounds. I'm sorry, you guys, because at this point my teeth probably match my shirt.
I know, me too.
From drinking red wine.
Bad red wine thing.
I had a hard time hearing Jamie say that. Almost lost my marriage. I was like, what?
Yeah, that was I completely agree. That was way 20th century. That was, yeah, I'm kind of surprised at that. No, lost your marriage. No.
And okay. The goodbye and the Claire and Jamie goodbye was so awesome.
Well, can I just interject that Fergus all ready to fight? Just
love him. But yeah, the goodbye, I was like,
now that I just have, we skipped that. Well, first of all right, Angus wants, I wrote this down. Angus wants a kiss goodbye. Could it be any more evident that he's going to die?
No, I knew. Yeah, I was like, oh.
I'm guessing even if you didn't know, it was pretty clear by now, like, whatever. But then the Murtaugh goodbye to Claire. I need to breathe in a paper bag because I loved that so much. I love all is forgiven about the dumb Murtaugh, like, whatever the hell he said episodes ago to Claire that was really inappropriate. All is forgiven because the two of them have a relationship that nobody else will ever have or know or understand. Not even Jamie.
And when that happened, I flashed right the heck back to Wentworth when she came out the first time after she had spoken.
Yes, and the Murtaugh goodbye, then the Jamie and Claire goodbye. That's what we've been wanting, y'all.
That is really what I've been wanting. I have to go back and watch that again. Okay, it's so like the books when I just when I'll look up a certain part and I'll read it over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll go back and look up that part
Mm-hmm.
with the goodbye, because the goodbye was just so authentic, and Jamie and Claire.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was great. And I think that was pretty much right out of the book too. Like that whole, I mean, I don't know that the Murtaugh stuff, whatever, but the Jamie and Claire one was pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay.
I have the soldiers walking through the trail at night.
Murtaugh steps in the quicksand, and I thought for a second it was going to be like, some scary, like, the quicksand eats Murtaugh.
I thought so too. I was like, he's a goner.
Quicksand, it's quicksand, like, I think I have this sort of, like, deeply seated fear of quicksand.
Oh.
It's really scary. It's like,
you ought to look into that.
I forget if, like, Gilligan's Island had quicksand, or...
There's
I think there was an episode where, like, everyone thought that Gilligan had been, like, eaten by quicksand, or, like, fallen into quicksand. I don't know.
You need to read a little Dr. Brian Weiss, and he'll explain to you why you have a fear of quicksand. You need a regression.
Okay.
But when the soldiers were walking through the trail at night, all ready with their muskets, whatever they are,
they didn't have
bayonets.
any muskets. That's the thing.
What did they have?
After all this business about, like, we can't have Highland charges.
Yeah.
We have to do war the right way, the old-fashioned, like the orderly way.
Right.
They were all like, yeah, screw the orderly way. We're just going to do a sneak attack and, like, have our pitchforks and, go.
Yeah, they had swords, I guess.
But that sort of worked because in that kind of a scenario, they wouldn't need, like muskets wouldn't be, like, really that useful because it's more hand-to-hand combat.
Right. But all I could think of, this is what I've been trying to say, is I have written down as they're walking through and it's at night and they're ambushing them at night. I just said, remember Paoli. Anytime you see any type of, they do that on turn too. Like, they'll have an ambush at night and I'm like, oh my God, it's the Battle of Paoli.
That's, how, like, Tulagard is the Mackenzie, like, war, cry, and I guess Just We Pray is the Fraser one. The Rantanelli
and I still
one
say Just We Pressed.
Just We Pressed. The Rantanelli one is Remember Paoli.
So was the United States military until the first quarter of the 19th century.
What? That was their war cry? Remember Paoli?
They 50 years after the Revolutionary War, they would go into everything, remember Paoli. You might want to
do it for Johnny.
You might want to check out, like, my blog posts, my umpteen blog posts, and maybe a little,
Page 847.
I'm not going to go any further with that.
Okay. So they tell Chuck, yeah, you're not coming with us. He's like, mock me. I must go, or I'll be in trouble with Daddy.
When he says, I don't believe my father is all that fond of me, Tom Stark cracked up.
I have to tell you, though, that really, like, I felt for him. Even as douchey as he is.
I know.
That's why he's so brilliant. Oh, my God. I talk about, like, wanting to, like, interview somebody.
But see, again, at this point, I'm like, I understood why Jamie was putting up with it in France because he was trying to steer him. Well, ain't no steering anymore, so why are you putting up with him? You know what I mean?
He's not, but, like, you're seeing that Jamie has a real gift for the diplomatic, Right. I mean, he got his way. He got what he wanted. But he did it in a way he gets what he wants. But he's not like the honey badger. He doesn't take what he wants. He, like, gets it in a diplomatic way.
Right.
So, so he convinces Mark Me to stand down along with the general. And that's true, actually. Like, none of those generals actually, go to any war. They just, like, sit around and, watch on the monitors or whatever.
Yeah. Smoke their cigars.
Yeah. So then because again, we can't forget that Claire is, like, actually on this show. We flash back to her and the ladies. Now, here's my question. Why is it that Claire gets to look, like, really pretty and put together in her little dress and, like, her little hair all done up good and, like, even maybe a little makeup, And the other ladies, Alice and the other ladies, look like shit with the schmatas like on here like this, and the rags.
It's a great question. I don't know. That is a great, because Claire has to be better. Yeah, you're right. I'm like, did
Claire's
she?
all like, it's going to be tough, ladies. We've got to tough it out. Well, yeah, but like she looks like she's going to be staying back with Markme and the generals while the ladies go jump into like the wounds.
Yeah. So Claire, when you're running around yelling at everyone, spit spot. Okay, you need to just She's like, no. Rip up that sheet. I wanted an inch thicker. Make a thicker strip. And where's Suzette to mend my?
Oh my God! Why did they bring Suzette back?
She's like, you fix your schmutter, and you give me a thicker schmutter, and I'm just going to go and reapply.
Oh my God. Okay, so after that 5-second thing, we get back to the guys, and it's time to charge. And let me just tell you, James Alexander, Malcolm Mackenzie Fraser, charge to mama, because holy smoke.
Holy to the guard.
Holy to the guard. That was just fabulous. That whole, that shot was just divoon. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And when he yelled, "Tillicard," I said, "Welcome to Scotland."
I know. And the Jamie v. Dougal, like I don't know who looked better. I mean, I really don't.
Dougal was a fine sight to behold. Dougal was a fetching sight to behold in last night's episode.
He really was. He really was.
I was like, oh, maybe we should have paid a little more attention to him on the red carpet. I saw him when we last saw.
I still think I loved them on the red carpet with us. I thought we did a really good job with them.
The little bantering. They were like, what do you mean your sisters don't get along? Of course we don't get along. They were like, you watch us not get along every week.
No, they were like, we can't help you there because we don't get along. Because we fight all the time on the show. So, okay. The battle sequence was great. It's fabulous. I was like, ironically, our two cast members, Tobias Menzies and whoever, the guy that plays Lord Lovett, whose name is escaping me, both from Game of Thrones, were not in this scene that would have come right out of Game of Thrones.
Oh my God. Can we have like a 30-second conversation about Game of Thrones and how deliciously Tobias and Lovett it was?
Oh my God. God.
I go, Blackfish, Tully, Tracey and I were just talking about him. But I'm looking at him and I'm going, I still don't remember who he is. And we looked him up. And I look him up and I'm like, that's Lovett? How fantastic is not only makeup and wardrobe, but that he is a totally different man on these two shows.
I know.
I didn't even recognize. Even when I knew it was him, I didn't recognize him. All right. Tobias, is it creepy that I find him to look great in that long wig? Is that creepy? Let me tell you something. Tobias is on Game of Thrones before we knew, maybe while we found out that he was going to be Frank and Blackjack Randall. And I was not happy about it. I'll totally admit it, because all I knew of him was from Rome and from Game of Thrones. And I hated him on Game of Thrones when he was looking through, when he had to pick a wife and he was all, no. Kind of like History of the World Part 1 with what's her name? Who's the one with the eunuchs?
I don't know. I never saw it. My favorite thing that we do ever on these videos is Carol saying some movie and me being like, no, I never saw it. And she's like, pitches a fit right there in her kitchen.
I've seen that movie so many times I've lost count. Is it Madeline Kahn? Is that her name?
Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
Tom, is it Madeline Kahn from History of the World Part 1? Yes. She is so damn funny. Anyway, so Tobias Menzies is sitting there with the girls going like, no, 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 no. And I was like, who are you? Who are you? Oh, it's amazing how the tide has turned. I mean, there he is in that probably before Outlander, I would have thought ridiculous wig, but they show him on the screen last week with his little walking up with his chains, and they put a close up, and he's dirty, and he's in that wig, and I'm like, wowie, wow,
Tobias Tuesday back again.
Bias Tuesday needs to happen
It
again.
needs to come back. We need to have a return of Tobias Tuesday.
Just need no more Frank.
Okay. All right. We've just like digressed so far.
Yes,
but the battle sequence was great. I thought it was amazing that the women could hear them, like, because it seemed like they were pretty far, but like it was that loud.
They really touch upon so many things that I would never stop to think. When those women heard that fighting, I thought, my God, like you were there. It just put you right there with them.
And that was from the book too. I think that they could hear that they sort of knew what was going on. But the battle sequence was great. I mean, it was really gory, lots of slashing, lots of blood. Fergus, oh my God. Like, Fergus is just a lost child. I forgot that was I mean, you don't see it because you don't really see any of the battle because it's all from Claire's point of view. But I think Fergus, that's right out of the book that Fergus killed a guy.
I was a wreck at that, yeah.
Okay, so back at Claire's, La Hospital.
At Claire's.
In walks Faux Ian with his bud, whose name I never got.
Who?
And Faux Ian. You know who Faux Ian is, right?
No.
The Angus and Rupert, like, wannabes, the Crofters.
Oh, yeah.
One of them, remember last week I said, like, that guy, I keep thinking he's Ian.
Okay, right.
So I call him Faux Ian. So Faux Ian and his bud walk in. The bud is, like, pretty much gone. Like, that's it. Claire's like, I can't save him, sorry. And then there began the string of times where they would show Faux Ian, and I thought he was a chick.
Did he have the Garth wig?
Because he had his hair at that point like back, but he had like really good like what does Mom call them, like frou-frous. I kept thinking it was a specific chick. After a while, who's the girl? In A League of Their Own.
Yes.
The girl, especially when he came in with his friend like over his shoulder, that girl who's like kind of like ugly and like doesn't really know what to say or like how to like behave socially. But
the sister?
No, there's a girl, Marla. Her name is Marla.
Oh, Marla.
But like she's like a big girl. She's like a like a strong girl.
Right.
I totally thought it was her. They kept flashing on him, and I'd be like, "It's that girl." Oh no, it's Faux Ian. Then Claire would talk. Then it would be like, "Oh no, it's Faux Ian. That's not that girl from A League of Their Own."
It's Faux Ian, not the girl.
I have to
not
like
Marla.
show a still from that, like to show like a side by side kind of still. Okay, then I just have Rupert. Oh, I guess maybe this is where Rupert gets slashed or stabbed or whatever happens, which is really scary. And then the British show up in the hospital, and Claire's like, we're good, like, start treating them too, blah, blah, blah. And then Angus shows up with Rupert. And how about when Claire is like, all right, we have to deal with these British guys first, and then, just like go to the back of the line. And Angus is like, "You treat him now." Do you remember that? I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and good for him.
I know, right? Like,
I was glad. I was like, you're right.
no, totally right. So
Clearly they don't watch Mercy Street.
I think Claire could hold her own in Mercy Street.
Claire would run Mercy Street. Are you kidding me? I can't wait for that show to come back.
Except Norbert Leo Butz and British Mayim Bialik would be like this. How can we get rid of Claire?
British Mayim Bialik. My God. I love that show.
Okay, so Claire, so Rupert's got a nasty wound that looks pretty bad, and it's got to be closed up before there's an infection. So she sews it up, and then Angus is all like really tired looking for Angus, and he's not his usual snappy self. Whatever.
Angus is sad for Rupert and says he's gonna sit here and watch his big belly.
Yeah, so it was just lovely, the two of them,
and Jamie was like,
but wait, but then we saw what happened with Angus, that he got blown up real good.
he blowed up
real good.
What was that from? Oh, we gotta have that.
SCTV, I think. He blowed up real good.
He blowed up real good.
She blowed up good. Blowed up real good.
So we see that, Rupert was injured, but Angus, something's up. Something's up with Angus.
Something's up, but then I put it right out of my head. Yeah. I was like, and how do you put a cannon blast out of your head?
Hot Jamie walks in the door, all sweaty and bloody and shit.
Thank you. And he's like euphoric. And all I can think of was, remember what Jamie said that happens to soldiers when they're euphoric after a battle? Claire, get your ass in there. I think there's some bandages that need cutting in there.
Sadly, that did not happen, although that would have been a good option. Perhaps the alternative scene will be on, director's cut.
When you're taking care of the English, before the English, you need to take care of your man.
Oh my God. Okay. You take care of your man, Claire. Okay. So Jamie's all, yes, we won the day. It's great. Awesome. So Fergus and Claire have their lovely little scene.
But I was saying to you that last night, this is Claire. Has anyone seen Fergus? And then she forgets about him.
Oh, that's true, actually.
Like, you never heard another word about Fergus until Fergus came back from the killing.
Right.
And then it was like, Claire was like, I thought she was going to be like, Fergus, where have you been?
So he made his first kill. It's very sad, Very sad when that happens to a young boy, but okay.
Do it for skill.
Now we see Dougal. And I think, I for some reason, I think this was something they sort of did, finish the job off with, No.
You
don't think?
No, he got pissed. His ego. He got pissed when Lord John, not John, cute John, hot John, said...
No, not just him, but, he's going around, stabbing all of the guys that are... I don't know why it's just sounding familiar to me as that they did that to sort of just finish the job. Basically, in other words, to make sure that all these guys lying on the battlefield were dead.
Oh. Yeah. I mean,
they did that, right?
That's the very first, you've seen it. It was the very first scene of the first episode of Turn, season 1. Was Ben Talmadge just laying there and Robert Rogers' guys are walking around doing, every single dead guy.
Right.
And right before he gets to him, Ben Talmadge goes and gets him. And it's an amazing scene. But yes, that's exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Dougal's doing that, and then someone calls his name, and it is the return of Johnny, not Lord John Radcoat.
Johnny, not Lord John, hot Lord John, young John,
Yes.
not John.
And Johnny, not Lord John Radcoat, seems to have aged about 17 years in like a year or whatever it's been.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize him.
I didn't either. He's like very disheveled. Clearly, he's been injured and just wants to go home.
Do you think that if he didn't insult, he didn't mean to, he was trying to help when he said, there's no way you're going to beat the British. There's no way.
Right.
And Dougal just took it in his big fat ego and killed him. Do you think if the guy never said that, do you think Dougal would have let him live? Because Dougal said in the beginning of the conversation, like, you were the best.
Yeah. You were the only good one in the.
Yeah. So I was wondering if he hadn't said that, would Dougal have let him live?
It's a good question. I'm gonna say no. But boy, I don't know. I mean, I like to think that Dougal would be a better man than to kill somebody in cold blood like that. I mean, he did, but like because he felt like, he had been insulted or whatever.
Right.
Like the guy was just like all the others. And I mean, I guess if that's a recognized part of military operation is to go around as the victor and like kill everybody on the battlefield.
Not when
I guess
talking.
he would be like within his rights to do it.
Right.
Even though it's douchey.
Well, that was the thing with Culloden. I remember reading that, they just in real life, guys, not in the books or anything, that they just like killed all the Scots no matter what. They're just like, you could be wide awake and chit-chatting and but that's what's wrong with it. When they do that because they're like laying there dying. And I'm not saying they're doing it to be nice or something, because they're not. They just want to make sure everybody's dead. Nobody's going to get out and run it with any intelligence or whatever. But, when you have somebody who's sitting there talking and being kind to you, that was cold-blooded murder. And I feel like Dougal's unraveling. I think that Dougal is like, I'm sorry to keep bringing up movies, but Dougal is Matt Dillon in The Outsiders at the end after he robs the convenience store right now. Like he's just, or while he's robbing Dougal is robbing the convenience store right now. He is just losing it. And he's all so full of angst and anger. And he's, think about everything that's gone on in the past year or two with him. Gillis and the wife died and this and that. And now this has all come to a head. He's been having these secret meetings for years about the Jacobites. And now he's here. So he is, and he's getting pushback from Jamie, and he's having to answer to Jamie, and he's having to answer to Bonnie Prince Charlie.
Yes.
He is Dougal. Dougal, as Tom would probably say, is a warrior. He's the head of the fighting end of the clan.
The war chieftain.
The war. Thank you. Why the hell can't I think of the words war chieftain right now? He's just done. This is it. This is what everything is fought for, but it's not happening the way he probably thought in his mind it was going to happen.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, we could spend a whole hour on Dougal alone. And if you think back to what Claire said last week about Dougal is a narcissist, Dougal is a narcissist who is also a second born. And that's like being like, I love pizza more than anything in the world, but you can never eat pizza, Carol, because you live in Antarctica. Can't get any pizza there. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like what he wants more than anything is to be number one and to be top dog and to be respected more than anything, more than anyone. And he's never going to have it because there's always somebody in charge. There's always somebody above him. There's always somebody telling him what to do or getting to make the decisions or getting the credit or, whatever. And I think you're right. I think that he's starting to really, really, really feel the effects of all that.
He's always going to be the man behind the man.
Yep. He's always the bridesmaid.
Never the bride.
Never the bride. Dougal will never be the bride. But I thought that killing Johnny Notlor, John Redcoat, I mean, it really, his words that got me were, and because I wrote them down, a war chieftain should know better. And I mean, the minute he uttered that, he was done. He was toast.
He doesn't care anymore. He doesn't.
But Dougal, that was despicable. It's despicable.
I know, he's despicable. And you know what? I might have even written this down. I hate Dougal. What a douche. I can't believe, yes, I can. He killed the soldier. I didn't even realize it was Johnny, not Lord John.
Yeah, because he said it's Jeremy, something or other.
Well, I kind of did, because I was saying to myself, is that
Johnny, not Lord John Redcoat?
Yeah, because Dougal said you were the best, or you were the, yeah. But I seriously was, I have Dougal and James angst is so perfectly from the book. This whole Dougal situation is being done so well because he seriously was unraveling at this point and was just, he wouldn't listen to anybody. Nobody could tell him, and you feel it, and you hate him.
You hate him, but you respect his complexity.
Which is pretty much what Bonnie Prince Charlie told him at one point.
And I'm kind of respecting Bonnie Prince Charlie's complexity as well, even though as I hate him.
Right. I don't hate Bonnie Prince Charlie. I think he's a loser, but I don't hate him.
I guess I hate Dougal more. That's true.
He's okay. Remember how I said Leary was she's the one you just love to hate? Prince Charlie is the one you hate to love.
Okay, I get it. I'm on that. I'll get that. Yep, that makes sense.
Okay, so I have to go back to this though because we didn't really hit it. Jamie is okay, and he's excited. He's euphoric, and he's a little over the top.
With what?
Like there was one point when he was like, they had the pissing contest.
Oh, we haven't gone to that yet.
Well, okay. All right, then if we haven't gotten there yet.
No, we haven't gotten there. That's why. Okay, so, okay. I just wrote down this moment. We're back in La Hospital, in La Claire Spital. And Angus and Faux Ian woman, as I put it down, are sort of just kind of eyeing each other. Faux Ian is with his dead bud, and Angus is with Rupert. And Faux Ian just looks at Angus and goes, "We did not run." And because think back to like when they were by the fire and Agnes was being all douchey to them. And
yep. I loved that. Faux Ian woman, you awesome. Awesome. Yes, I totally agree. And I was like, you're right. You're damn right. They need to shut the hell up and leave you guys alone.
And I think Angus was like, point taken.
Right.
Touche, baby.
Right.
Touche.
Right.
So, okay, what next? Then we find out that a horse stepped on Jamie, and Claire's like, pee in this cup so I can check your urine. And Jamie's like, okay, who thinks I can do it from 6 feet away? And the British guy's like, I do. I'll hold the cup. And that is all right.
I loved that, though.
Right from the book.
And I love that Jamie at first was like, all right. And then the two of them I liked that.
And I liked the whole, like, we're on opposite sides, but we can still be friends.
Exactly.
We're doing this lesson.
We're doing the exact same thing, but for different sides.
We're a lot alike, you and me.
Right.
So then Mark Me comes in as Jamie's peeing, and he's all a little embarrassed, but not really.
And Fergus is okay.
Fergus is okay. Yeah.
I have Claire is all happy. Meanwhile, Fergus has PTSD too.
Fergus hasn't gotten past his PTSD from the blackjack moment. That was over in 2 seconds.
I thought that was very poignant, though, that Fergus like made his way to the battle and then ended up like, careful what you wish for, kid, because now you got it.
I know.
Yeah.
So Mark Me makes a speech, and it's actually a really nice speech, and that's the one where he's talking about how, we're all the same, and you are all going to be my subjects. So I can't really celebrate this victory because it comes at a cost for me, and that it's losing some of my own. Blah blah blah. Then Dougal comes in, all like woohoo. Sees the Brits, goes ballistic. Mark Me is like, what the F? Like, bro, like, no. We don't play that shit here. And y'all get out. And then Jamie, once again, Mr. Diplomat. Jamie should be like Secretary of State or something, because like, he's just so good and so like, plays both sides, knows exactly what to say. I think I said this last week, like he could go into mediation. Like, he's like, oh, well, no, but Dougal's really strong and he's really great. And like, I know, why don't we promote him? And like, give him, the title of head of the Highland Dragoons, and he'll ride off with his posse and, follow the troops and do all sorts of stuff, and you won't ever have to see him, Mark Me. And Mark Me's like, Mark Me, that is a fine idea, James.
True. And I'm thinking to myself, God, poor Jamie has to be diplomatic, and Dougal, and I'm thinking Dougal's like is somebody's crazy uncle. Oh yeah, he really is.
He really is. But Dougal, again, like, this is why he's so awesome, even though he's a douche. He knows that Jamie is brilliant. That was like, that's when he's like, that's something worthy of my brother. Like, he's saying that in a way that is disdainful and respectful all at the same time.
Right, exactly.
So
Totally
really, so great. And again, Andrew Gower.
Excuse me.
No, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. He's so
Not
good.
worthy.
He's so good. So then Dougal's like gonna go yell at Angus for falling asleep in the middle of his speech or whatever, and they realize, oh no, he's not asleep. He's dead, or about to die. Very sad moment. Claire realizes that he was bleeding internally. Now, everybody will want to know, what was Angus saying?
I don't know, but everyone will also want to know, why does Claire insist on yelling at people when they're dying? I mean, Claire's all, oh, you were bleeding internally this whole time.
You dumbass, why didn't you say anything?
Yeah, like, you just sat there and died and didn't let me help you and be the hero. What was she going to do for him? He's bleeding internally.
I don't know what she would have done. I mean, I don't.
Maybe she would have.
She would have had to do surgery, right?
She would have gone in and like tried to drain blood or something. I don't know.
No, because she would have had to stop bleeding.
Sew
internally.
up. She would have had to go in and sew up.
I don't know what she would have done. I don't know.
She would have had to go in, find where the bleeding was coming from, and sew it up.
And she wouldn't have been able to do that.
She's Claire. What are you kidding me? Of course she'd be able to do that.
No, I don't think she'd be able to do it.
Tracey, Claire's like got one of those robot things in there, like surgery, when they've got their hands in there and they've got the video, and yeah, Claire can do anything.
I want to know his last words. If anybody knows in the please tell us.
I know. I know.
Oh, I thought you said that you knew the last words.
No, his last words were. Let me tell you something. I was so grossed out at that death.
It was really. I mean, this whole episode was very like, whoever like has the blood squib business in Scotland, like they were just like counting their change.
Oh my God.
During us.
I think that the oddity of that death kept me from part of me was like, oh my God, I'm just going to like lose it and cry. And the other part of me was like, like when he was,
Uh-huh.
it was very
It was
loud.
really brutal. It was really
It was
brutal.
very brutal. And I was like, I couldn't even look. So I was like, ooh, this is just so that part of me that was just getting disgusted was taking over more than the part of me that would normally be like, give me another tissue.
Um,
And that and the shock of it. Because there was a bit of shock, like, oh, wait
right.
a minute. He's
Not for me, but so that's why I'm curious.
yes, I was like in my heart of hearts I knew, but I didn't know, please, Tracey, I was talking last week about how I wanted him to like come to America. And we remember I was singing Neil Diamond, we're coming to America. So honest to God, I was like, damn it, he's not going to America, I guess. Guess
I
they're
am,
gonna
yeah. Now I'll be curious to hear how many people were really surprised by it, how many people thought maybe that was going to happen. Book readers thought something else was going to happen that didn't. So they may have been surprised as well, which is why they may have done it that way.
they're also wondering what's gonna happen next week.
Who knows? Oh, because next week is the Diana Gabaldon
Can't
reign.
wait.
I know.
Don't
Well,
you
wait.
feel
All right,
like
let's finish this up because we're like we have two
yeah, I
lines
get it.
left.
We gotta go.
I know.
I'm
I know.
embarrassing myself. I'm yawning. I'm sorry, you
I know.
guys.
I'm like I'm hitting the wall a little so bad. Okay,
yeah,
so because this last scene is very nice, it's very sweet. It's everybody's kind of like celebrating the victory, and it's Rupert and Faux Ian.
singing
Each of
and
them that's lost their bud, their best
yep,
bud.
yep,
Now they're kind of best buds together, if only for like this one moment.
right,
Kind
right,
of
right.
just celebrating like friendship and what you've lost, and it was very very lovely, like that whole ending. And I loved that they ended it on Rupert. I loved that. I loved it, loved it, loved it. Like normally it would be like a Claire scene or a Claire and Jamie, but it's
Right,
Rupert, and
right.
cut to black, cut to credits. Loved it. Thought it was great. Thought it was great. What did you think? And that was it. What did you think overall of the episode?
That was good.
I thought it was a
It was
good
good.
one. Is it a
This
little
is
is it a little manly of an episode? Like I bet you Tom really liked it.
Tom loved it. Hey Tom, you awake? He goes, no.
No, it's
Um,
definitely like it's a dude. Like, and again, I think that Philip John, like, dude director. Like it was good. It was a good battle. It was a good battle show. It's a good Man of War show.
when
With
it was over, I really seriously sat there thinking, my God, that was an episode that was just nothing but like male
you could
battle.
smell like the locker room on them, I
Yeah.
mean, but I thought it was good, and it was a lot. It was some great Jamie and Claire stuff. Great, ironically, in an episode that was way like dude-ish. Some of the best Jamie and Claire moments of the season, I would say.
I think so too.
Um,
They're
you
getting
know,
to that
and
point now.
and especially since their marriage did not end.
And Jamie was
Um,
like, we almost had to go into counseling. To counseling. He's been rolling a lot lately.
yes, agreed. He was very Scott to this episode. Also the Dougal stuff was really great. Dougal's like such a fabulous character. So yeah, I liked this episode. I did. I think I probably liked last week a little more, but that was just a personal thing. This was a good episode. This was a good episode, and it's getting exciting, and
It to me, it feels like one of like Diana Gabaldon's final frenzy when she's like finishing the book.
well,
Like,
the tension is building. I mean, you know what's coming, and you know that you're marching towards it, and it's too late to
right,
stop anything. And
right.
so and because you saw the very first episode where it's going, and you know that like we've got 3 episodes left now. We're going to be getting to back to where we started really soon, and it's
Back Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. So what we were saying, Diana Gabaldon is writing the next episode. It hit me. I wonder if she will, because I'm caught up with Ron Moore's podcasts, and he normally has the writer of the show on with him. So I wonder if she'll do the podcast next week.
Number one, I wonder. Number two, I'm dying to know why she wrote. Have they said why she wrote this episode? Did she request it? Did they ask her to?
I don't know, but I bet you there'll be a lot of press next week for it.
Because what I want to know is
that I won't be reading before I watch.
Did they say to her pick an episode, or did they say, Diana, we need to change something here, and we need you to do it because we can't come up with a way around it. We can't come up with a way to keep the integrity of your characters and storylines. And
I don't think it was that deep. I think I get the sense that it was like, I don't know whether she had her pick of all 13 or whether they had already like maybe there were 5 left after they divvied out whatever they needed to divvy out to whoever they needed to divvy it out to.
Well,
and
why
was
did
just like, because she probably didn't. They break the book down. They break the story first, right? So it's not like she was like, I'll do episode 11. Hope it's a good one. Like they already knew at that point, 1 is going to be X, 2 is going to be Y, 3 is going to be Z. Blah blah
right.
blah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But I don't know whether then she stepped in at that point and got her pick of all 13, or whether they, like, for example, Ira Stephen Bear and Tony Graffia and Ann Kenny and Matt Roberts are all executive producers on the show. So I don't know if contractually they have to have, say, 2 or 3 episodes to write. Like I don't know. So maybe they have to, by contract, get assignments first. And that leaves, 3 or 4 episodes maybe. And Ron writes the first one. So then maybe Diana gets, whatever's left over that she can choose from. I don't know.
Do we know if she has said, because I know she has said in the past that she really didn't have an interest in screenwriting. So I'm wondering what changed her mind. And these are all good questions for Diana next time we see her.
I'm sure she's talked about it on CompuServe too, that you can take a look
Yes,
at it.
I'll look it up. I think it's time. Guys, we had a fun time tonight.
I don't think that we have to talk about any spoilers.
No, we already did it
earlier.
I seriously am not going to be able to stay awake that long.
Wait, 30 more seconds because we do have to talk about
Turn?
the contest we're having. No more Turn. Jesus Christ, no.
Cheese and rice.
Time out on the Turn. No.
Everybody who loves Turn is like, shut up, Tracey.
No, we have to talk about the contest that we're running. And it is to win a free Outlander Kitchen cookbook that is written by our good friend
Teresa.
Teresa.
Who we have got. How long have we known Teresa? How long have we known Teresa?
A long time.
Many moons.
She's back in the day, way before the show. Way before the show, there was like us, there was Teresa, there was Karen, there was the Ladies of Lollyrock, there was the Outlander Book Club.
And then like Outlander Germany.
Yeah. There's Diana's translator in Germany, Barbara. I don't remember her last name. And maybe there was a site here, a site there, but like nothing. That was pretty much it. It's pretty much it.
Right.
Now, as my husband would say, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting an Outlander site somewhere.
It's the truth. That was a hard thing for me to like deal with at first, but I'm so used to it now.
Back in the day.
And there's room for everyone.
Back in the day. In the old days, when
you guys, I was just
a mile to school.
I was backwards, uphill. I was just telling Tracey that I was just watching videos from that Tracey and I did. It was a Fiery Cross video, and it was from 6.5 years ago.
We have 112 videos that we've made.
Oh my
Crazy.
goodness gracious. Tracy, you got to go back and watch some of these videos because we're together in a lot of them. So
Uh-huh.
we're just like the two of us. You guys, you got to watch them.
Funny.
You will crack up.
It's your Outlander project, you guys.
And honestly, we're so not that we're jaded, but we're so new and fresh and to Outlander. Like we're still reading the book, so we're like, oh my god! So
as opposed to now when it's like, see ya, Claire.
Yeah. Now we're like,
all right, guys, we have to go to bed. Find us on the blog. Go on the blog and on Twitter and on Facebook for the Outlander Kitchen contest. Carol, is it closing? You said it's closing Monday.
Yeah.
13th, maybe extended a couple days.
Okay, I just figured okay.
Because by the time this video is up, it might be like at some point on Sunday anyway, and people won't have time to enter.
Okay.
All right, just go on the blog, read about the contest, enter the contest, win a free book, get a recipe because there's a recipe on the blog, and it looks really tasty.
It's linked to the blog,
yes.
But there is a picture of the aforementioned fritters,
and they're yummy. Okay, you guys. So blog, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, blah 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 blah. We will see you next week for the Diana Gabaldon written episode that I don't remember what it's called, but it'll be awesome. Episode 211. And
Pocket Jamie says goodbye.
Pocket Jamie says goodbye. Give us your comments. Your comments are awesome, awesome, awesome. Like seriously, like how great are they? They're awesome. We love
keep the conversation going. And P.S. I don't think we've mentioned that I put a message board on the blog.
Yeah, so, we gotta figure out. Like we gotta get that. That's sort of like maybe for Droughtlander. Like we'll really get that going.
Yeah.
And chat will be back. I know a couple people have asked about chat, and again, like
chat is doing fine.
Chat's doing fine. We'll be back. We will be back to chat after the season. It's that Monday night is kind of like that's when I like put my laundry away. Now that I'm like editing all day on Saturdays, so we'll be back. It's all good. Don't worry about it. And that's it. All right. We will see you next week. Bye.